Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing a vegan collard green wrap that I like to eat a lot, and I just wanted to share that recipe with you. And also boba tea, since we are all having to stay in, I have been making my own boba tea. So this is a coconut Chai Boba Tea, and I'm just going to share with you how I made that. Made it a little bit healthier. I used almond milk and stevia for sweetening, and also coconut sugar for sweetening. So I tried to make it somewhat healthier. And then my collard green wraps. So this is a snack that I like to eat also. So everything here is vegan and somewhat healthy. So I just wanted to share this recipe with you. If you want to see how I made this recipe, stay tuned to watch the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I appreciate you watching today. I'm going to use organic almond milk. So that is going to be my base for my tea. And since I am going to make a coconut chai tea, I have coconut cream that I'm going to add. So this is just an organic coconut cream that I'm going to add to my base of my tea. Maybe just a tablespoon, not a lot. So just a tablespoon of the coconut cream to give it that really creamy coconut flavor. For sweetening, I'm going to use a coconut sugar. So you can use any sweetener that you like. You can use honey, you can use brown sugar, maple syrup, but I'm going to use coconut sugar. And you can always add more sugar if it's not enough sugar. You can always add more, of course. So there's the sweetening. And then since this is a loose leaf tea, I have these tea filters that is going to keep the tea together. If you don't have tea filters, I got this in the tea section of the grocery store, but if you don't have tea filters, you can also use a strainer if you have the loose leaf tea. And it just looks like this, and you put your tea inside the tea filter. Here's what the tea looks like. There's like little chunks of coconut in there, which I think is really cool. But it has some real chunks of coconut in the actual tea, so I can't wait to see how this tastes. So you just put the tea inside the tea filter. I'm gonna do about 2 tablespoons. And just let that seep for a few minutes. And the reason why you do the tea first is so that you give your tea time to brew. So once it's done, you want to let it sit so it can cool for your boba teas, so you can add the boba. For the collard green wraps, you want to get the biggest collard green leaves that you can find. And unfortunately, my grocery store did not have the bigger collard green leaves, so I have to use 2 for each wrap. So I'm just gonna double them up when I wrap. But what I did was I cut about half of the stem off. If you look on the side, I just used a knife and just cut down so that when you wrap, it lays a little bit more flat and it makes it easier to roll. So all we're gonna do is dip each leaf in the boiling hot water, and what that's gonna do is wilt the collard green leaves so that They're a little bit more green, easier to work with, and they're a little bit more soft. So you just dip them in the hot water until they turn just slightly green like this. And I flip it over. And you just want to do each leaf like this. So you take it out and let it cool. Here's another one. And you see how this one is like nice and bendy now, so when we make the wraps, they're going to be a lot more easier to work with, and also since we cut the stem, it's going to lay more flat. So now we're going to make the nut mixture or the meat mixture for our vegan collard green wraps, and the walnuts are going to act as like our base of the wrap, and you're going to need about 2 cups of walnuts. And I got this huge bag from Costco. You want to add about 2 cups of walnuts. And as far as seasonings goes, I like to use a coconut aminos. It tastes pretty much like soy sauce, but it's a lot less sodium than soy sauce. So 1 teaspoon of the coconut aminos is just 60 grams of sodium. And you can get this in the Asian section of your grocery store, or also at any health food store like Whole Foods. But coconut aminos is what I'm going to use for my salt. 1 full tablespoon. So this is 2 halves, so 1 full tablespoon of coconut aminos. I have minced garlic. I would do just a teaspoon of garlic. And of course you can add more or less if you like, or none, or even do green onions instead if you don't like garlic. And smoky paprika, which tastes really, really good in these wraps. A half a teaspoon of the smoky paprika. And pepper. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of pepper in there. A little bit of water in the bottom of the blender just to get the nuts to mix all together. If you don't have a high-speed blender, you can just use a regular blender and just put it on the highest speed that it can go, and just keep mixing. So you're probably gonna have to use a spoon to get everything mixed in. So I'll just open it up, and the bigger chunks, I'll just push them down the bottom. So this tastes perfect for me. I think this is perfect. I don't like to blend it too much. I like to leave a few big chunks of the walnuts to just give it more texture. But this tastes perfect. I would taste it and see if you need more salt or seasonings. But this is perfect to me. It's gonna be a thick, nutty texture like that. So that'll be your base of your collard green wraps. All right, we have our nut mixture done. And I have the veggies that are gonna go inside the collard green wraps. I have some fresh cucumber, avocado, some alfalfa sprouts, orange bell peppers, and red bell peppers. So those are gonna be the veggies that I put in my collard green wraps. Okay, since I have smaller collard green leaves, we're gonna use 2. So if you're gonna use 2, I like to put stem on one end and stem on the other. And remember, we cut the stem so that it's more flat and it's easier to wrap. So I just lay it down like that, and you take about a tablespoon of the nut mixture, the smoky nut mixture, maybe 2 tablespoons, and I just flatten it out, spread it out evenly as much as you can. And then I'll put the alfalfa sprouts on top of that. And then next we're gonna do the bell peppers. And then the red bell peppers. And then avocado next. And you just layer it. I like to get vegetables that give a variety of color just so it's pretty to eat. And then the cucumbers on top. And then you wrap it just like a burrito. So I like to start from the back. And you wrap the sides. And then just roll as you would a burrito or any type of wrap. And I try to get them as tight as I can. So there's our collard green leaf wrap. Now we're gonna get the boba ready for our boba tea. And again, this is the tapioca pearl boba from Tea Pop. And their website is teapopla.com. It's a really yummy boba tea shop in California. So I found them online and I really like their boba. So this is the boba that I'm using, and I'm gonna use about 1/4 of a cup. So, and you just want them to boil until they float up to the top and puff up a little bit more. And after your boba is done, you want to add a sweetener to the boba as well, just so that they're sweet also. So you want to add about maybe a teaspoon or 2 of brown sugar or whatever sweetening that you choose. This is the same milk tea that we brewed earlier on the stove, and I just blended it up. I added some ice and a little bit of stevia. I just thought it needed to be a little bit more sweet. So I blended it up to get it nice and creamy again. You don't have to do yours like this, but I put mine in a blender just to get it nice and creamy again. This is the boba that I boiled earlier, and now it's just sitting in a little bit of maple syrup, maybe about a teaspoon. So I let that sit after I simmered the boba for about 15 minutes, and then it's now pretty cool. So I'm just gonna pour the boba inside of this cup, and there's some ice at the bottom. But here's our coconut Thai cream tea that I blended just so it's nice and creamy again. And then you need a boba straw. And you can see the pretty contrast of the tea and the boba at the bottom, the chewy boba. So guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you try this recipe out. If you do, make sure you leave a comment, or you can message me on Instagram or tag me on Instagram to share the recipe. My Instagram name is @ShanaeBelton, but I'd love to see if you do try either the boba tea or the collard green wraps. So I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope you're staying healthy and safe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.